Well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evenings. So nobody's here. Well, no. Sven is here. Sven is the first one in the box, and that's a good thing. Yep, there's Matt, and there's Ballard. I haven't seen Ballard in a little while, so good afternoon, Ballard. Good afternoon, Matt, and good evening to Sven, our buddy in the land of beer and pretzels. Well, it's once again Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I can not keep track of what the hell is what anymore. Let's see. Let's make a few quick clicks to fix things. And once again, we are on episode 209 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, your boy SaleenDriver. Once again, coming to you with the longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. Once again, doing that show that is about nothing in particular. In the past few weeks, we've talked about colonizing Mars. We've talked about the election. We've talked about football. We even managed to talk about watches once or twice, which was always entertaining. I do enjoy talking about watches. Pardon me, I was taking a drink. And thank God that idiotic watch saga with the German alleged doctor from wherever the fuck he's from is over. I got paid. He got a watch at a deep discount. And I hope, part of me hopes that he enjoys the watch and gets it set up the way he wants it and so on and so forth. And another part of me hopes that he drops it on a tile floor and it shatters into 1,000 pieces. Either way, I don't care. It's his problem now. It's not mine. I sold him a good watch that worked just fine, and he was being a pedantic, anal retentive little man-child, and he got his comeuppance. Steve Pearson, good to see you, sir. Anyway, moving onward and upward from that nonsense, we are, let's see, we are how many days? 4 days away from the annual National Felons Association Stupid Bowl that pits the the Flying Chickens versus the Swifties. And we all know that since the National Felons League is rigged, that the game is a foregone conclusion that the Swifties will win the game once again, and therefore, why bother watching? VicTube is here. Everyone's favorite Aussie and brand new mother. I think it's only been, a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, that little Iggy was born. So our favorite Aussie mom, Libby, is here. And, looky. Slim Shady Canes is in here. Haven't seen you in a couple of months, sir. Good to see you. I'll be dropping the link shortly, and hopefully you will grace us with your presence. VicTube already coming in hot for some reason. What do I think is of the plan to take over Gaza? Hey, he said it himself in that press conference, which, yes, I did watch. He said it himself. We've been doing the same thing over and over and over again for decades, and it hasn't worked. So, hey, let's try something different. And if we can open up Gaza to development and improving it and getting all the people that live there, getting them kicked out and moving them to Egypt or Jordan, which is where they're supposed to be anyway, why not give it a shot? Nothing else has worked. The Israelis feed them power and clean water and give them economic opportunities to work in Israel and live in Gaza. And all they do is dig tunnels and kidnap people and kill them and rape them and burn babies alive and fire missiles into Israel. So nothing's worked for decades and decades. So let's try something different. Why not? What do we got to lose? Gaza is already a shithole. Its people live in ruins. They live horrible, horrible, hellacious lives. Let's try something different. Let's try something radical. Let's think outside of the box. What do you got to lose? The place is already, a big 25-mile long beachfront pile of rubble. Let's try something different. What the hell? What do you got to lose, right? The place is already a wreck. Can't get any worse. Watch 6-2. How you doing, man? Jason's watch in person. Oh, yeah, you saw that video. That's a great little watch. I mean, the only flaw in that watch is that it's not a 42 millimeter, it's a 40. But it's a great watch. It's a quartz watch. I set it one time, and I haven't had to play with it since. I've worn it. It's very comfortable. It's easy to read. The chronometer works. The chronometer works great. It's a great little watch. I definitely think if you have the opportunity to buy one, you should. TB12 is the only one that can save us from a three-peat. I love Jalen Hurts, but Brady, we need you to break the Swifties. Okay, Tom Brady is not playing in the game, so give me a break. Well, what they say about hoarders destroying their own homes. Usually, when that happens, the city or the county has to come in and clean it up. So maybe it's time to have somebody come in and clean it up. There's no reason to kick me out of my house. So when a property owner fucks his property up so much that the state or the city or the county has to come in and clean it up, it's time to go in a different direction. And Gaza isn't their native home anyway. If you did some research instead of bomb throwing, you'd know that Palestinians, Raj, all pretty much came from Jordan, which was actually set up after World War II to be a Palestinian state. But the ruling king of Jordan, whose name escapes me at the moment, had to put down a Palestinian uprising in Jordan and threw a bunch of them out of the country in order to put down the uprising. I think he killed somewhere around 3,000-4,000 people during that uprising back in the 50s, I think it was. So, sorry, history isn't being kind to you. But that's the nasty thing about facts. They have an interesting way of interfering with one's feelings. Good afternoon, Zona. How you doing? Nate the Great is late, but he apologizes for being late. So we will forgive Mr. Bug Eyes for being late. But watch 6-2. Definitely a nice watch. And it was a privilege to receive watch number 1 from Jason when he gave it to me. That was very kind of him. And Libby, you better watch it. Slim Shady Kane is in here, and you know how much he loves you. Having that Slim and Libby in the stream at the same time in a long time. Coke Zero, K-Dog is here. Good afternoon to you, sir. Libby says, I don't give a fuck. That's what I love about old Libby. But enough about that. How is Iggy doing? How is she doing? Is she doing all right? She's sleeping good. She's eating good. Scott and her getting along. Yeah. I don't know how to order one. He hasn't. I don't know how to order one. Feel kind of embarrassed about that. I bet if you drop, if Jason shows up, or we can, have him post a link or something. Since he is a mod, he can do that. If I had the link to the website or whatever where you could order it, I'd be promoting the hell out of that on my channel. Cleaning my glasses. I can't see shit. There we go. Amada. Haven't seen her in a while either. Oh, Iggy's glaring at me. You know what? I was just talking about Jason. How you doing, sir? Jason, if you notice, Watch 62 is in the comment section. He was wondering how to go about ordering one of your watches, one of the chronographs. You got any information on that? Please share it. Yes, indeed. Speak of the devil. Asking ye shall receive. Let's see. Nope. That didn't work. Come on. There we go. How come that didn't work? What the hell is going on here? Oh, you posted a link in the video? Okay. Well, can you post you're a mod, so please post the link in the chat for Watch 62 and anyone else who's interested. And I'll start promoting it on my channel when I can. Oh, that's not good. Well, that's not good. Well, get that fixed. Slim, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm making it.
Ballard's here. What you were holding up? Holding up a watch.
Yeah, so I got this back in December. Someone's
You did?
Somebody's got a wicked echo.
I think it happened when he put spin on. Anyway, I got this back
you
in
know
December.
What? I know what it is. It's my fault.
Yeah, what else
I fired up StreamYard and Firefox instead of Chrome. Oh crap! I forgot about that. And if I shut it down,
and come back in a minute.
Well, hang on. Let me fire Chrome. Let me mute myself. Fire Chrome up, and then I can just make a. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Mr. Nebraska. Good morning, Ballard. Good morning, Slim.
Hey, Sven.
Hello again, Slim. What's up, Ballard?
What's up, Nate? I couldn't tell who that was at first. I mean, I probably should have guessed from the looks of the face on there, but then I
it's
recognized the voice. Yeah.
Nate. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah, anyway.
The heck?
warning.
He's got
Warning.
Yeah.
Hashtag professional.
right.
Let's see.
And also, Christian, sorry if I left earlier your stream because I had a.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
This
good,
is
Nate.
really good. So silly.
Yeah, fuck it.
Really
I'm so used to using Firefox, I forgot about Chrome. Hang on, let me catch back up here.
Another great reason.
Okay, well, we could talk
is so
about the
cool.
National Bitches Association for a minute.
Yeah,
This
well,
is so crazy. This is the
Jason's a big fan of the NBA, so you want to talk about
I was a big fan of the NBA until Nowitzki retired.
true.
Nowitzki was a German. And
I was a
he
big
is-
fan of the NBA until Bird and Magic retired, and then then the game turned to shit.
And also Jordan.
Yeah.
retired.
Well, it really didn't turn to shit for about another decade after that.
True.
And
like
I
the-
mean,
I think the last full season I watched was that that championship that Miami won when Shaq went there after he left LA.
2004.
Yeah, that's right around when I
Yeah,
quit watching.
2006. Wade and Shaq, 2006 against Nowitzki in Dallas.
Because like most kids that grew up in the 90s like me, I was a bandwagon Jordan fan because Jordan was
He's like basically the sports celebrity. Yeah. Well,
I like the old basketball more. Elvin Hayes, Bill
More
Russell, Will
physical.
Chamberlain. Yeah, but Luka, this is so crazy. I mean, at least the Lakers have now one good player.
true.
Yeah, what? LeBron is not good.
No,
He's
he's
washed
not
up.
prime. He's washed.
LeBron James is not worth $10 million a year. He's washed up. He's
Yes,
a
he
bust this year, an absolute bust. He does nothing.
You know who
And-
else is a bust? His son.
I mean, think of this. The last player who was 25 years old and made 5 times in a row first team All NBA
Curry.
was a guy who won 6 championships in Chicago.
Oh,
That's the last one. It was not LeBron. It was MJ.
MJ. Yeah.
And Luka Doncic is the best player in the NBA right now.
You can
By
argue
far.
that, but
There's nobody even close to him. What he can do. on
Is
the
he
court.
considered a DEI hire for the NBA?
Oh my God.
What is DEI?
Diversity. What is it? Inclusion and equity.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is Cuban sold the Mavericks,
the Mavericks.
and he was not longer the owner. And if Cuban was still there, this would never will happen. And the Mavericks are done. I mean, Anthony Davis, he's injured all the time. And,
I've been calling
he's-
him street clothes for 5 years because he spends more games in street clothes than he does in a jersey.
Yeah, and
I
how
call
old
him
is he?
Mr. Unibrow.
97?
Something like that,
Or
yeah.
59?
Yeah.
Something my age or Saleen's age. Something like that. But what
Luka
I
was like
would do
92.
as the Lakers, I would fire LeBron and bring some really young studs in. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. LeBron is going to make you more money than he cost you because his name alone is going to put people in seats.
True.
Like they're more than making back his contract and what they're making off of his name. So I can. It's kind of like Jordan with the Wizards. Like everybody knew the Wizards
Yeah.
wasn't going to be great, but the fact that Jordan was playing, it's going to put people in the stands.
Yes.
That's correct. But Jordan, LeBron will not win you a championship.
No.
And even with Luka, this team can't win a championship. They have no shooting. Nothing.
Well, they've got no big man either because they got rid of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he the only big man out there? Nah, never mind.
I mean, he was the only one the Lakers had.
They have one. Stop. They have one. In this trade, Maxi Kleber from Dallas. He's not a grade, but he is a solid, really good center who can shoot also the free. He shoots around 34% from 3-point.
Who?
Well, and they got that kid from Tennessee too, Dalton Connect. Like he's really
yeah.
good.
Well, yeah.
Dalton Knecht, I know him from college, and I saw a lot of games of him, and against Mississippi State. State plays physical, and he never beat State, and that's a bad sign. I mean, Mississippi State is not a world beater in hoops by any means, and they beat them over and over. It doesn't matter if they played in Knoxville or in the SEC tournament or in Starkville. Dalton Knecht never beat Mississippi State, and that's bad. That's really bad.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, he's a young guy. He can develop. Nowitzki was not great. Year 1, year 2, year 3. Everybody knows that. Jordan was not good year 1. It was his name. I mean, he was good, but he was not Jordan, like we used to know him. Maybe Dalton Knecht will develop and be an All NBA first teamer. Nobody knows, and I wish him all the best. But right now, he's not the answer. I mean, Luka has nobody to work with. He has Kleber with him, who he knows, and he has a washed-up LeBron and Knecht. So who else is on this team? Nobody knows these guys.
Right. Well, I was reading today too, like, it took me a second, and I guess they finally came out and said why the Mavs traded Luka, which I thought they were just being stupid and idiotic. But apparently, they were talking about how he had lack of discipline when it came to diet and exercise and like conditioning and everything off the court.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, but I guess I had read into it. I didn't even realize all that, but
Yeah, well, Shaq did too, but he's a top 5 center all time.
oh yeah.
Shaq is top 3.
Oh, I
At
would tend to
least.
agree. The only two people I would put
I mean-
above him are Kareem and Wilt.
Yeah.
Kareem, Wilt, and there's a discussion in my head. Hakeem or Shaq. Elijah one was also really
yeah, and this isn't. I'm not knocking Olajuwon whatsoever. But on my list, he's going to be one spot behind Shaq.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's controversial. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it either way.
Yeah. By the way, Wilt is my second favorite player of all time, behind Bill Russell. I love these old guys, and I don't understand the discussion that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I don't get it. I mean, Wilt won more championships in a row as Jordan has combined. I mean, it was a different type of basketball, but at the same, you can say Jordan's
Well, I mean,
era.
if your
is
argument
way
is
different.
championship, well, if your argument's championships, then Bill Russell's the greatest of all time because he has 11.
Yeah, but
I don't
he
think the
also was a
argument
great
is simply
player.
championship.
Yeah, I mean, for me, is Russell. Russell is for me the GOAT. Number 2 is MJ, and number 3, forgive me, Tim Duncan.
I would have Tim Duncan in my top 5, maybe
Duncan
just outside of it.
He was so amazing. But anyway.
If somebody
Okay.
got mad at me, it might have been Tiger Baskins if I said LeBron wasn't in my top 10 all time.
Me neither.
I have LeBron
want
not in my top 10. Nowhere near in my top 10. Nowhere near.
Oh,
Well,
well,
I
he's
mean, you gotta-
close. He's in my top 15, but he's not in my top 10.
Yeah, top 15. Okay. I have Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kareem, Magic Johnson, Bird, Oscar Robertson, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan,
Hey,
Dr.
Dan.
J, and
yeah, Michael Jordan. Yeah, Michael Jordan it is the GOAT. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Queen Jimmy can suck my dick.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, well, he might. I mean,
he said there's-
Queen Jimmy can't hold the jock of Jordan, Bird, Magic, none of
that's
them.
a fact.
Listen, be
Oh,
careful
no,
what
that's
you
a
wish
fact.
for because LeBron said there ain't no party like a Diddy party, so he might just do it.
That's fucking gross.
Yes,
Queen Jimmy
got a point.
is
Yeah.
playing in an era of marshmallow soft 3-point shooting bullshit. If he drove the lane again, or even tried to drive the lane against guys like Lambeer or Kareem or Rambis or Parrish or McHale or Rodman
Parrish or McHale.
or Mahorn or any of those guys, he'd have his goddamn head taken off.
I mean, well, listen, I don't know if I completely agree. Like, if you stuck him in that era, like LeBron is what, 6'6", 6'8", fucking 260. Like, that's a big boy.
He's a
like
big
if he had come up in that era, yeah. Well, what my point is, if he had come up in that era, he would play differently than he does.
Oh yeah, I agree. But everyone's saying how great he is, and yeah, he's great in this era. But if you put him if this version of Queen Jimmy in that era, Queen Jimmy would be on the injured reserve list inside of a week.
Well, I don't know about that, but I would say that about Steph Curry, because what did Steph Curry have a problem with early on in his career? Ankle injuries. And what would he, in 25 years ago, 30 years ago, what would he have? Everybody laying on him. Yeah. He would not survive in the older style basketball. And that's not a knock at Steph Curry. It is what it is. He had injury problems. He wouldn't have made it through it.
Yeah. And
I just find the modern version, I don't know if you guys know about the part of Facebook where you can watch videos. They're like little 15, 20-second snippets or whatever.
Reels.
Highlight reels. I've seen some highlight reels of some Celtics games recently that popped up on my feed for some perverse reason. Yeah. Every single play they come down at over half court, they shoot threes. and another three, and another three, and they make them wonderful. Hey, great! They're making 3-pointers. Nobody crosses. I mean, nobody goes inside and tries a layup or tries a slam dunk unless there's nobody
Well, they
around.
do. They do sometimes, but
Yeah, if there's nobody
Saleen,
around them. But I mean, every single outside shot was at the top of the key or beyond. And it's
it's
like,
all about
does
the
anybody fucking,
threes.
go inside anymore?
No.
I mean,
I mean, it's no different. It's no different than football, though. Who throws across the middle anymore?
Raj.
I watched.
Oh, exactly.
I watched.
That's why pro football is unwatchable to me anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
Well, football period's getting that way. They've neutered defense in both sports.
Yeah, I've got too good a memory, Slim. I mean, I'm pushing 60 at this point. I remember football and basketball and hockey in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s when it was still a man's game. Now it's populated by a bunch of puscators, followed close behind by a bunch of rule makers that said, "Oh, nobody touch nobody no more," on account of we can't take no hits no more. You know what it is, and you know what the root of the cause of it is? Money.
Yeah.
The salaries have become so exorbitant, and they've got so much money tied up in these divas.
Owners are protecting their investments.
Yeah, they don't want anybody to get hurt, even a hangnail, because of they paid some yuts $250 million to swing a bat or catch a ball or shoot a basket, and if he goes down with even the slightest injury, they're out their investment, and they've structured the game now where it's almost impossible to hurt anybody anymore. And not that I want to see people hurt in these games, but I want to see these games the way they were played back in the day. I mean, I thank God for YouTube. I can sit there and watch highlights of, the old Steelers, the old Bradshaw Steelers, or the old Orr, Espo, Cashman, Bruins, or the old Bird Celtics, and say, I remember those days, and those were the good times and entertainment.
See, like with me, it's less of a LeBron thing or a Patrick Mahomes thing, and it's a more, unfortunately, the era of whatever sport they're in.
Right, I agree. But stop calling, Queen Jimmy the greatest of all time. He's not. He's he may be the greatest player of this time. But this time, to me, my humble opinion, this era of basketball, this era of football, this era of hockey are shells of their former selves.
Yeah.
It's quite frankly, sometimes I wish I had Alzheimer's disease when it came to this kind of thing, because I don't want to remember, compared to what the product is now. It hurts to remember what it used to be. Now I sound like an old get off my lawn fuddy-duddy, but I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. I watched on the weekend Mississippi State against Missouri. College hoops. Missouri made 23 threes. 23. They didn't even try to get to the rim. They have 5 shooters.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, because out of sometimes there's nothing else on TV, and I'll pull up on Hulu on my one screen. I'll pull up the Gators basketball team just to while I'm working on the actual computer, the Gator game is playing on the side to entertain me, give me a break or whatever. And I was watching the game yesterday against the Gator game against Vanderbilt. And I was actually grateful to see the Gators. They shoot threes like everybody else. They seem to be pretty good at it. But I saw a lot of driving to the hoop, and I'm thinking to myself, now that's the basketball I remember.
Yeah, Florida is a damn good team. They're They should be a 2 seed like this.
Yeah, I
Maybe
saw that
2 seed?
graphic yesterday. They have Florida as a potential 2 seed
Yeah.
in whatever bracket. I guess they call it what they call bracketology or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
it's
they
still
might be a 2
4 weeks
seed.
to play.
Well,
And I
It's still
understand they beat Vanderbilt yesterday with their best player on the bench.
Yeah, but I mean, Wendy beat back-to-back Tennessee and Kentucky. Also Wendy is not a bad team. They are like Mississippi State, decent. They can beat everybody and they can lose to everybody.
Well, Florida
But
evidently,
Florida is
evidently is
really
considered to
good.
be a pretty good shot at winning the SEC this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Auburn's the best team in the
SEC,
SEC.
Yeah,
they are.
that's what they were saying last night when I was listening to the commentary. But they said that Florida has a shot, but it's probably going to be Auburn's to lose. I don't think Florida's
Auburn is
played
still-
Auburn yet this year.
And I know that
Auburn
just
is
burns
still
Valor
undefeated
up to
in
no
the
end.
SEC.
Oh yeah.
They are
No,
undefeated.
I don't want to see Auburn win it.
And
I don't think Auburn's played Florida yet. I don't know if they're going to play Florida. I guess they will play
they
at least
play.
one.
They play. Next week is Iron Bowl against the Gums. It's number 1
On the
SEC
fifth- on
against
the
number 2
15th.
SEC.
Yeah, on the 15th. Well, you say number one, number two.
Next week on the weekend.
Yeah, Alabama's
And there's
just
Iron Bowl.
behind
And the week 1 week later they play. I think they play Florida. And for me, Broom is the best player right now in the country from Auburn, and he had an injury against State, but he's healthy and he's top notch, and Auburn is 12 deep. They have a really strong. I mean, Florida, it's hoops, college hoops. Florida can beat them. Of course they can. Florida has a good enough team to beat anybody on any given day. They can win a championship.
Well,
If they
you're
go
going to
on
get
run.
a preview of that because on Saturday, Florida plays at Auburn. And they play Mississippi State after that, South Carolina, Oklahoma, LSU, Georgia, A&M, Bama, and they wrap up Ole Miss.
Okay, that's
We got
that's 2 really hard games and 2 50-50. No, not 50. 75% winning chance and 3 straight up wins. I mean, LSU and South Carolina, Florida should blow out, but you never know.
I think
Mississippi
Florida
State,
could win almost every game on their schedule going forward, except for Auburn and Alabama will be the tough ones.
yeah, but I mean, Ole Miss beat Alabama on the road, and I don't know. It's a long run, and as I said, against if State or Ole Miss goes hot on a day, I mean we have a top 3 shooter in all of college basketball, but he was injured. He had a finger injury. How about? And if he goes hot, he blows Florida alone out. It's no problem.
He had a what injury?
In the same sentence. Huh?
He had a what injury?
What? A finger.
Oh.
He's got an
But
accent.
it's he plays,
Yeah,
but it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and as a shooter, it hurts a little bit if you're on your shooting hand if the finger is.
I mean, nothing like making
I have-
Saleen's point though. Guys used to play games with sprained ankles, and you know, I
know.
chipped a nail. I can't play a fucking game. Fucking spare me.
I know.
The Battle Angel has joined us, the most patient and most put upon woman in all of the internet. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you for joining
What
us.
is for sure, Florida will make it to March Madness.
Hey, not to change the
I can
subject,
tell
but
you-
I thought Libby was from Australia, not Palestine.
Libby likes to give me a hard time about any position I take, Libby's going to take a contrary position. I
She's
didn't
a fresh
see you, P Digits. Good afternoon to you, sir. I didn't see you pop in because I had to step away.
Well, speaking of history not working out in people's favor, do you remember what happened post World War II when Israel was given its sovereignty?
Yeah, they were immediately attacked on all sides by all the Arab countries around them, and they beat them all back.
Well, not just that, but every Arab country around them kicked out every Jew and said, "Go to Israel."
Yeah, I remember that. There were a couple of Arab countries that had very large Jewish populations. I think Jordan, or what they called Transjordan at the time, was one of them. I believe Lebanon was also one. Although my history might be a little fuzzy on the Lebanon thing, but there were a couple of Arab countries.
Did you just say trans? Did you just say Transjordan?
Yeah, Jordan used to be called Transjordan. I don't know why, and I know you're giggling.
So is it called Cisjordan now?
Now it's called Cisjordan.
Yeah, now it's Cisjordan. Yeah,
I see what you did there, Vic.
Vic had to go a long way for that. I knew the minute that Vic asked that question where he was going.
Yeah.
But good on you, Vic. Good job.
Let's say it this way. It's a historical fact, Jordan. Vic. It's not a gender.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Yeah,
Good.
I know.
Good for you. Good for you.
But most Palestinians in before World War II and so on, most of these so-called Palestinians, of which the Palestine does not exist, so that's a myth, number one. But most of these so-called Palestinians were Jordanian or lived in Jordan before Israel was created. Then the what is it? King Hussein, I think it's, or is it King Hussein of Jordan, had to put down a Palestinian uprising in his own country, and threw most of the people that were responsible for that uprising out of Jordan back in the 50s. And that's why they ended up in Israel. So if the Israelis wanted to play hardball, which they're not going to, obviously, but if they wanted to, they could basically say, okay, you are Jordanian by origin, see you bye, and kick them out.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so what was Israel before it was called Israel? I mean before 1948.
It was a British protectorate.
Okay. Yeah, what was it? What was it called though?
I don't. I think it was called. Some people refer to it as Palestine. Some people refer to it as Israel. Some people refer to it as part of Jordan or Transjordan. But Israel was basically carved out of parts of Arab countries after World War II.
Yeah, and they
created in 1948.
So they had to carve it out from something. I was trying to ask what it was called. What it was called before
occupied the territory.
Okay.
Well, depending on what point in history you want to look at,
right? And that
most all of those were Christian lands taken by force after the 8th century.
Yeah. It was the Turks. Yeah.
Well, no,
then,
I'm talking about 700 years of expansion that led up to the Crusades.
Okay.
Yeah, that was there's part of it was part of the Persian Empire. Part of it was part of the Ottoman Turkish Empire.
Yeah,
was it not called mandatory Palestine?
Yeah.
Saleen, mandatory Palestine or something like that?
What did you say?
Before Israel went to Israel, wasn't it called mandatory Palestine?
Yeah,
it might have been. There were different names for different parts of that territory.
I'm not sure, but I had it in. I studied in my second degree. I studied church history, and I think it was mandatory Palestine.
Palestine.
But
you might be right.
It's 150 years ago.
Right.
My pre-World War II Middle Eastern geography is a little weak right now.
Right.
But basically what the UN did was carve out Israel out of territory from a few different countries and created the state of Israel based on the biblical borders from the Old Testament and say, okay,
Yes.
because of what happened, and obviously there was a lot of sympathy towards the Jews post World War II because of the Holocaust. And there were a lot of Jews living in the area anyway, under people like Moshe Dayan and Menachem Begin and others who rose to power in the subsequent Israeli government. And there were a lot of people led by them living in the area that were clamoring for a Jewish state in the biblical territory of what was Israel, based on the Old Testament. And the UN created Israel in 1948 and recognized it as a sovereign nation. And then it was immediately attacked by Syria, Lebanon, Jordan or Transjordan time,
Egypt.
I think it was
and was beaten. And actually, after those countries attacked and were repelled by the Jewish state actually became bigger almost immediately than its original 1948 boundaries.
Yes.
And then obviously there were multiple wars: the 67 war, the 7-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, the 73 war, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I thought it was 6 days, but yeah.
6-Day War. And they constantly were able to expand their territory even further. That's why Israel now controls the Golan Heights, for example, and will never give that back.
Right. Well, they had
it's part of the biblical lands, and B, it's a strategic piece of land that gives them a big advantage over Syria and Lebanon, and also where a lot of their water comes from. So
and then they had control of the Sinai Peninsula for a while, but they did eventually give it back to Egypt. But
and you know, to get peace with Egypt, I guess it was worth giving back the Sinai. You know, there's nothing in the Sinai. It's a big hunk of desert, so it really wasn't a great loss to Israel. You know, in terms of resources or anything like that. And yeah, they did give up some strategic advantage, but Egypt is, fortunately for Israel, Egypt is a country that's, you know, relatively easy for Israel to get along with after Sadat and Begin signed the peace treaty. And, you know, Egypt has benefited greatly from trade with Israel, although they'll never admit that publicly. So Israel's western flank with Egypt is relatively secure.
I mean,
it's their eastern flank and their northern flank which they have to worry about the most. And Gaza, which is why, if you think about it, you know, this scheme of Trump, where America, quote unquote, takes over the Gaza Strip and redevelops it. You know, like I said at the beginning of this stream, for decades, America and Israel and our allies have tried the standard, I'm using air quotes, the standard thing: negotiate, give aid, economic aid to the so-called Palestinians, negotiate with them, try and convince them to be, you know, nice neighbors to Israel and so on. And I don't know how you convince somebody with a gun to your head to not try and kill you, but okay, whatever. And you all can agree it hasn't worked. It's not working.
Not really.
They're still firing missiles into Israel. There's still
there is no negotiating with fundamentalist Islam.
No, there isn't. So
That's
let's
just
try
it's
something
not.
different.
Like you give it, and I've said this with every president that's talked about backing out of the Middle East. Okay, it's only a matter of time before we end up back over there because you are talking a group of people that believes that we should be wiped from the face of the earth, and not just us, but Israel as well.
Well, the Israel to them is the quote unquote low hanging fruit because they're smaller.
Well, they're smaller and it's a convenient
right
enemy because they're right next door. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the point being is that, and who did we lose? We lost Ballard. Okay.
Ballard and Nate. Yeah.
Well, if they want to come back in, of course they're welcome. But the point being that, I watched the press conference last night with Netanyahu. And the minute he said, America's going to take over or control or whatever the word he used.
He said take over. Yeah.
He said take over. Okay. Yeah. And I thought my initial thought was, man, that's crazy. That's nutty. But then you got to remember a lot of people who they don't understand Trump because they have not read Art of the Deal.
Art of the Deal. Have you read Art of the Deal?
I have read it.
If you read Art of the Deal, you'd understand, why Trump does what he does. I mean, he says stuff that's outrageous, but he's also a master negotiator.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Most of the time. Most of the time.
But I mean, he came up with this crazy idea of America taking over the Gaza Strip. And I thought, and my initial reaction was, man, that's nuts. But then after a few minutes, I thought about it. And you know what? It's an interesting negotiation tactic. It's also typical Trump. He's thinking outside the box. And you know what? The Middle East situation vis-a-vis, getting the Arab countries and Israel to play nice together and let live and let live, lazim laden and all that. Maybe it's time for some radical thought. Maybe it's time for some outside the box thinking. Maybe it's time for, everything we've been doing for the past 4, 5, 6 decades hasn't worked. We keep doing the same thing over and over.
I'll take it even a step farther. We've been doing the same thing for the past, 13, 14, 15 centuries.
Yeah. Right.
Like, once again, these are not people you negotiate with. These are not people that can just live and let live. This is a problem that, listen, he's got a better idea than me, because if it was me, I'd tell Israel, hit the fucking button and glass him.
Yeah.
That's how, to me, that's how you deal with this problem.
I mean, Trump has...
let me address this. Battle Angel, Nate has never asked me for advice about anything other than watches. So, no, Nate did not get advice from me about his girlfriend.
Yeah, Nate didn't ask.
I am the last person that anyone should ask anything about when it comes to women.
Why is that?
Because I don't understand them and I don't want to. I don't understand women. I don't get it. And I've thrown up my hands and say I don't want to try to understand women.
Okay, and you never have. Okay, and you never have understood women.
Well, I thought I understood women, Vic. I really did. I really thought I had some kind of understanding of women at one time. And then I realized I was wrong. So, no, no.
Saleen,
I just want, you know what I want when it comes to women? Peaceful coexistence.
Right. Well. I mean, you have a better understanding than what Nate does.
Well, yeah, except I was married and divorced.
I mean, because you are experienced. So
I guess you could say. And, I raised 2 daughters who still like me.
Yeah.
They still talk to me, so I guess they like me. Actually, I talk to my younger daughter almost every day because almost every day she texts me with a question or 2 or 20.
Yeah, this is good.
The older daughter has a pretty good handle on things, but the younger daughter is still trying to figure shit out.
And it's good when she asks you.
Yeah, but sometimes, Sven, you sit there and you wonder, and we lost Slim. Sometimes I sit. We lost him. Sometimes I sit there and I wonder after I get off the chat box with her or whatever, or get off the phone with her. I say, what is this girl going to do when I drop dead?
I don't know. Hopefully that won't be for a good while.
Yeah, I hope so. But uh-oh.
Oh, yep.
TK!
But don't you wanna understand me? Don't you wanna understand me?
No.
TK, I don't know. Geez, he left. TK, I love TK. I don't want to understand TK or Battle Angel or Amada or anybody else. I just want peaceful coexistence.
Yeah.
I don't have to understand them to exist with them. That almost 60 years of life has led me to that conclusion. I don't have to understand women. I just have to I just have to figure out a way to live with them peacefully and happily.
Yeah, you have,
right,
you have to
and
respect
that's
them.
all you want, and that's all you want to do. Yeah,
that's all I want to do at this point.
Yeah.
I want to drive my muscle car. I want to collect my watches. I want to watch my college football and my pro hockey, and live a happy life. Watch my kids grow up and hopefully get married and become a papa. I don't know if Slim wants to understand you or not, TK. I don't know. Yes, we can all see TK's comments now, and I don't know why we couldn't, and I don't know why we can, but we can now. I'm just grateful that that TK is. I unblocked her a long time ago, but for some reason YouTube wouldn't let her be seen on this channel. But I think she changed her channel name to T Skates, and that was the final fix, I guess.
The big
I don't know.
gang is together now.
Sometimes something good happens and you don't question it. You just accept it.
Yeah, they'll look at you for us in the mouth.
Yeah.
BA is making a rare appearance on my stream.
Hey, girl.
That means you're in trouble, Saleen.
No, not in trouble. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. This is your platform.
Yes, I know, but I was just going to say that the fact that Battle Angel will come into my StreamYard now with TK in the StreamYard and won't just come in when she's not here is sort of like, gee, I'm not good enough.
No, that was just a coinky dink.
Not good enough.
It was a coinky dink. I didn't know she was on here.
Yeah, no, we did not plan this whatsoever. I mean, I wasn't like texting her and be like, hey, we should get on the StreamYard together.
It seems kind of my StreamYard in a long time, and now TK pops in, and now you pop in. It's like we're not good enough for a Battle Angel appearance unless TK shows up.
How many coincidences can we have before it's no longer a coincidence?
Well, normally I'm busy. I actually have a rare day off today, so.
Are you? Oh, I was going to say, you're not working today?
No, not working today. So yeah.
It's a good day.
You should be so lucky to have me on.
Well, how you been? I haven't talked to you in a little while.
Oh, good. Hanging in there, enjoying this beautiful weather we're having today. Because the next week is supposed to get down again to the 50s and 60s. So
Yeah.
To the 50s and 60s. We have 21 degrees in Berlin.
yeah, well,
20,
you're used to that weather. We aren't used to it.
you.
Yeah, we aren't used to this weather here in the South. So
Well, I'm going to be in the low 80s for the foreseeable future. I actually had to turn my air conditioner on briefly.
I know we had to turn ours on yesterday. So it was like 78 degrees here yesterday.
Well, I did it mostly to knock the humidity down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the reason I came on was because I just wanted to kind of give you an update of what's going on with Nate. So maybe you can kind of give him maybe some friendly advice, because I think that's what he's searching for. Because you know he's been on my channel. He came on my channel Sunday, and then he was on Pete's midday show today. So although
I haven't heard anything about he's got a problem, so please.
Well, he originally came on Bad Bitch Fuel on Sunday and posed the question, when is it too early to ask my girlfriend to marry me?
Oh my God!
Well, it's too early now.
How long has he been dating?
I love Vic. It's too early now.
Here's the conundrum, though. Here's the conundrum, though, Saleen.
How long have you been dating?
I don't know, like 3 months.
2-3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
but here's the conundrum, though, Saleen. So then he comes on to Pete's midday show today and is asking them about how he can break up with his girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, first of all, if Nate is still listening, first of all, Nate, and I love all the people that are in this stream and in the other streams and everything, but asking some of these people advice about women is dangerous.
Now, wait a second. Now, I would consider Pete a little more of an expert than you, considering he's still happily married.
That's true. I agree with that.
He's happy.
Okay,
I don't know about her,
but also I don't consider some of the people, and I'm not saying that Pete is one of them. I'm not saying that you're one of them either, Slim. But some of the people in these streams are not exactly what I call serious thinkers.
So I'm going to drop.
Thinker?
I'm going to drop off at this point because if Nate is still listening and he would like to come on and maybe explain his position a little bit more, then I will allow him to do so. But yeah, I thought I'd fill you in, because I know sometimes that you don't listen to some of these shows. Well, a lot of these shows, Saleen. So
well, let me before you drop, let me make sure I got this straight. He comes on the Bad Bitch Fuel this past Sunday. And wants to know about whether it's too soon to ask the girl to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 days later, he comes on to Pete's stream and wants to talk about how to break up with the same girl.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So I have the facts straight.
So you got the information that you need, right?
Which this breakup talk conveniently comes about a week before Valentine's Day and about a month before he takes a cruise to the Bahamas.
Yes, as Slim so eloquently pointed that out to everybody too, which we were unaware until Slim pointed that out. So yeah. So Nate, if you're still listening, if you want to come on and try and explain your situation, I'm sure everybody would love to hear it. So all right, good talking to you guys. Love you guys.
Thank you for updating me.
Love you, girl.
Bye.
I don't think Nate
I love you too, BA. You're good.
Right.
You're
So
good
our advice to Nate was that if he is going to break up with her, he should wait until after Valentine's Day, and he should make out with her first.
Well, Slim's theory was that he didn't want to buy her a Valentine's gift, but I don't think. Hang on, Vic. I don't think that. I don't see Nate as cheap, though. I think he'd want to buy her a Valentine's gift.
Well,
Well,
there's some context. Hang on. There's some context Hang on. There's some context missing here too. He also said on the midday show today, his reasoning for thinking this way is because she called him like 5 times while he was trying to play Fortnite, and he got annoyed.
Yeah, that was his first reasoning.
Okay, so
well, he also said he was calling her when
my question.
he was
Why
at work.
does he want to break up with her in the first place?
He doesn't know.
Who knows?
He doesn't know
because she annoyed him. She's calling him constantly.
Yeah, I guess he just doesn't feel the spark anymore. I guess he just doesn't feel the connection anymore.
It was funny, Saleen,
anymore.
because he said he didn't want a French kiss, and everyone goes at this almost like it felt like it at the same time. Why?
Yes, he's been dating this girl for 2 or 3 months and has yet to even kiss her because he's afraid of catching mono.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you this, Nate. I got mono when I was dating someone, but he never got it. He never got it. I got it.
Mono, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like cooties. Only girls get it.
Yes, he was like,
no, but I mean, I didn't give it to him.
He was like asymptomatic. Yeah.
Yeah, but mono isn't what I would call a fatal disease.
He was just a carrier. He was just a carrier, but it didn't make him sick.
Well, let me get this straight. He wants to. Let me back up to the marriage part. He wants to marry a girl that he's only been dating for 2-3 months.
Well,
that
I don't know yet.
He hasn't kissed.
Well,
that was his line of thinking Sunday.
He didn't say that he wanted to marry her. He asked when is the right time to ask her to marry him.
Okay, well,
but that's basically the same question, though, Vic.
Oh, okay, is it?
Or when's? I mean, if he's even thinking about it.
The simple answer for me to that question is, well, the only woman I ever asked to marry, that I did actually marry, I asked her to marry me, and after I had been dating her for about 11 months. 13 months. Sorry, 13.
Okay.
But we had been talking about marriage and raising a family together probably since the 6th month of our dating relationship. And, so for me, the answer to the question is, I've known couples in my life, real life, that, the guy proposed to the girl 3 months into the relationship, and they got married about, another 6 months later after planning a wedding and everything. And the relationship is still strong to this day. I also know another couple of couples that didn't propose marriage until maybe a year or 2 after they started dating. And one of those relationships is still going. The other one blew apart, although they have a good post-divorce relationship. I didn't propose to my ex-wife, now ex-wife, until we were 13 months in. We were married for 10 years, and we have 0 relationship now. And I thank God.
Well, you don't talk about your kids together? I mean, like if something's going on.
No, we don't talk at all. And oh, by the way, she's now living in Alabama and out of the state of Florida. And my thought on that is good fucking riddance.
Well, I guess that's the wife. Well, I thought you meant your kid.
I mean, they're both grown now, so he doesn't need.
Yeah, my kids are 27 and 23, respectively. So
yeah,
my advice to Nate on the marriage question is, if you're 3 months in and you feel like that, you're in, you don't just love the girl, but you're in love with the girl, and this is the one. And you've been around her long enough that you've seen her, I would say to anyone that don't think about marrying a person until you've seen them in almost every single scenario you can think of. You've seen them,
which you can't do unless you live with somebody. Do not marry somebody you have not lived with.
and I agree with that, and that's why
you need to
my
get
daughter,
it's not a popular, it's not a popular religious point of view, but I'm not religious, so I don't give a shit. I don't think you can know somebody until you live with them.
Well, I don't know. I think it's okay to live with them. I mean, if you're not having sex until y'all are married, but
yes, two people are living together and sleeping in the same bed, but they're not having sex. That's happening. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Circle,
What I don't
now I got my
understand
booty shot.
I don't understand why Nate is thinking about marrying a girl. You know, and this may sound a little crude or whatever. I mean, you know, how shall I put this colloquially? Don't you think you might want to sample a few things before you decide to commit?
Yeah, you need to get a free trial. Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez, I mean, come on, guys.
well, okay. Well, I'm sorry, TK, but you know, I can consider marrying a woman that I haven't slept with.
Oh, that, yeah, that. I thought you meant like sample a few women and then decide.
Well, you know, I could also
Well,
make that argument
that's
too.
what he meant too. I mean,
I thought so.
I can mean both. I mean, why would you want to marry the first girl that how shall we put it colloquially, tickles your fancy?
well, I'm not going to knock somebody for that. I mean, I had a friend that did that. I mean, they've been together since high school, and you know, they're still married. They've been married almost 20 years.
Sometimes
Yes, my advice.
I would not have wanted
sweethearts.
to marry the first girl I stooked. All right, let me just put it that way. I mean, there was nothing really terribly wrong with her, but I don't think she was the one that I would want to settle down with for the rest of my life.
No, but if she was, that does happen for some people, though, and
Yeah, that does
sometimes
happen to some
those
people.
are the
I
best
just,
marriages. Sometimes, because they grow up together, and if they can stand each other at growth, then they're doing something right. Then they're
But
meant for each other.
I don't think that Nate, I mean, Nate is what, 25, 26? I don't know, but I mean,
23.
Nate is a good kid, you know, but I mean, if he thinks that his opportunities for dating and such and attracting a mate are limited, I can't think of any other way to put it, but if he thinks that, you know, where he lives and how he lives, his opportunities to meet women and date women are, you know, on the less than average side of the ledger, then, you know, maybe I could see him wanting to, you know, he met this one, she seems to like him a lot, they seem to be good together, you know, why not give it a shot and marry the girl? Okay, I can understand that mentality, but I also think that 3 months in is a little early. I mean,
Well, he's already talking about breaking up with her.
I'm about to say, you forget 3 days later he's talking about breaking up with her.
He's not going to marry
I was
her.
getting that part.
It's obviously not the right time. Yeah.
No, and I think that, you know, I mean, there's an obvious lag time between, you know, putting the ring on the finger, the engagement ring on the finger, and the actual walking down the aisle together to the priest or rabbi or justice of the peace or whatever.
That's when you go with a commitment engagement ring.
And you go. Well, I mean, I would say to Nate, if you really want to get engaged to this girl and show her. I mean, I'll use myself as an example again. I got engaged to Kim. That's her name. I got engaged to Kim in October of '93, but we didn't actually get married until September of '94. So that was about what, an 11-month time
that
between. between engagement and marriage. And in that time, we were living together, and we even bought a house together. At least we signed a contract together. The house wasn't built yet, but we had a lot of time to live together, and we saw each other in good mood, bad mood. We had arguments. We made up. We traveled together. We did everything together. And at the end of the turn, we obviously decided that, you know, the time spent living together with the engagement ring on the finger and all that, we were going to go through with it. And we did get married, and we had 10 and a half years together as a married couple. The vast majority of it was great times, except for the last, I'd say, year and a half, 2 years.
What happened in
mean-
the last year?
I really don't want to talk about
I'm
it.
sorry. Hey,
That's all right.
Celine, would you like to get to understand me? I could teach you a course.
Oh,
Nah,
goodness
I,
me.
I mean, do you realize it, that this past January 25th, and I didn't say anything much about it except for one blurb on Facebook. January 25th of this year marked 20 years since my divorce. So water well under the bridge. I've reconciled the reasonings. I've long ago known that she ain't coming back, and I also don't want her back. But all I'm saying is, my advice to Nate on that would be, okay, if you want to propose to the girl 3 months in, propose to her, but push the date of the marriage out for a while so that you two can spend some more
He's
time.
not going to propose. He hasn't even kissed her
he's
yet.
not gonna do that.
And that segues me into the thing about, you know, what happened today on Pete's show. Now he wants to think about, how do you break up with a girl?
Yes,
Well,
well,
Just
my
text
advice.
her. I'm just kidding. Don't
Yeah.
text her. Don't
My
text her.
advice to Nate would be, you know, first of all, do it in person, and do it quickly. You know, the old rip the Band-Aid off the cut quick scenario, because it's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt her, but honesty is the best way. Be honest. You know, you can say to her, okay,
I was married
we've
for
been
over
together for a
30
couple
years.
of months. We've been together for 2 or 3 months. You know, if it's the way she looks, soft pedal it, but tell her, you know, be straight with her on the reasons. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you dress. You said something to one of my friends. You said something to one of my family members that I didn't like. You're not treating me the way I want to be treated. You know, whatever it is, you know,
I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way you
Right. Well,
dress.
Nate couldn't tell us. Well, Nate couldn't tell us what it was. So,
well, if he can't tell you guys
him and he
what
said
it
he
was,
didn't
then maybe
know.
he doesn't know what it is. But my advice to Nate would be, you don't have to tell us what the reason is. It's none of our business to begin with. But whatever the reason is that you're going to break up with this girl, do it in person, do it quickly, do it now before it gets so long in the relationship that it's really going to hurt.
Okay, so
And
you're
do it
saying that he should not wait until after Valentine's Day.
Don't wait and be honest. Even if you think the truth is going to hurt her feelings.
I have a plan. Do it
honest.
on Valentine's Day after you give her.
No,
give her.
that's even worse.
No, I'm just teasing.
No,
I'm teasing here, Vic. I was trying to make a joke, but
I mean,
you know,
guys,
and quite honestly, do not wait until after Valentine's Day to do this. Do it before Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day, some people have semi-humorously called it the day of celebrating unacquirable expectations.
All right. Well, maybe Nate doesn't. maybe Nate doesn't want to be single on Valentine's Day. So
Well, you know what? That's almost as bad because now you're giving her false expectations and
Yeah,
then
that's just
dashing them right out.
selfish.
That's
That's
exactly, TK. It's being selfish. So if you're going to break up with this girl, do it in person,
Do it now.
do it kindly, do it honestly, and do it now.
hey,
Don't
Saleen, you should
wait.
have an advice show.
This
I
is an
thought,
advice.
I
Ask
thought he does
Saleen
have an advice
anything.
show.
Ask
Well, I
Saleen
tried that
anything.
once and nobody
It's the
participated.
walking and talking. Yeah, the walking and talking Tuesdays.
But do the walking and talking live.
I mean, you make it so complicated. My advice to Nate would
You
be,
make it complicated.
yeah, it's really complicated. I mean, I met my wife when I was 19 and the second day in college, and I married her 5 years later. I was married for over 30 years until she died, and she had leukemia, and I knew this from day one. And she said, if it breaks out, I can die, and but it hasn't to. It break out after 32 years, and it was what it was. Anyway, I was married for 32 years, and we had small money like every college student in Germany, but we dated the first year, and after 1 year we got a little flat together, a little room, and lived there for the rest of the college. And after college, she went to my birthplace in the mountains and lived there for half a year, and then we married, and it was okay. And I lived with her for 4 years, and I know exactly what I get and what I don't get. I knew her because she was around me 24/7, and that's what Nate lacks. Nate's lady is hundreds of miles away, and
Is she?
what he should, yeah.
I thought she lived in the
what he-
same state. I mean, in the same city.
N-
She lives in the same city, Sven. You're thinking
sure?
of Ballard.
What? Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Nate's girlfriend
I would
lives
do,
in the same city. She lives
yeah,
in
what
Omaha.
I would do,
Yeah.
what I would do, I would invite this girl to live with him for 2 weeks, and then we
I
see
don't think their parents will allow
how it
that.
goes. That's what I would do.
Vandy, to
And then
answer
you
your
know.
question real quick, I live in Florida, which is a no-fault divorce state. So whatever I came into the marriage with, I got to keep. Whatever she came into the marriage with, she kept, which wasn't much. We split the house. We split the marital assets. Each of us got one vehicle. In the end, quite honestly, I did not lose very much at all. I ain't going to give real figures because that's none of anybody's business, but the state laws protected me pretty well. And she, let me put it this way, her post-divorce net worth was a hell of a lot higher than it was pre-marriage, when she had literally nothing. And she got a good credit rating coming out of it too. That was one thing that really pissed me off, was when I married her, my credit rating took a nosedive. But I built it back up again.
And then did your credit rating go back up, or?
No, I built my credit rating back up within a year. It was back up to where it was.
Okay.
And it's been that high ever since. So
yeah, because that's the most important thing post divorce is your fucking credit score.
Yeah.
All right. What sounds like the law protected both of y'all then? Yeah.
No, well, the law protected me. The law gave her a great deal of largesse.
Benefited her. Okay.
She didn't earn it, but she got it. But that's okay. I made up for all that too. I'll be just fine. Thank you very much. But
I mean, seriously, going on a rant about your credit score post divorce is probably the most Jew thing you've ever said on here.
well, thank you. No, well, you see, Vandy, I'm not a beta cuck, so I don't mooch off of women.
To this day,
The ones
I
that
don't
mooch
have
off of
any
women are
credit
beta
score in
cucks.
Germany. I don't even
Exactly.
know why this thing exists. What the heck? For what the heck do you need a credit score? For what?
I
To
don't,
get
Well,
anything.
I don't know. It
To
helps
get
out.
anything.
It
Like
helps out
literally, if
good
you have
in
no, hang on,
America.
Vic. If you don't have any debt, you're almost you don't have right. You don't have a credit score because you don't have any debt. It's almost harder to get shit.
I mean,
well, I don't have much debt, but most of the debt I have is actually there to pay off, so I boost my credit score.
Right, exactly. It's almost good to have, like, even if you know that you don't need anything, just get a credit card, spend put your bills on there and then pay it off every month. That will help
Well,
you get
that's
some, like when you want to get
yeah,
something big, you will
but
be
I
able to
took
get a
out
loan.
to me the easiest route that I found when I was building my credit. I took out a personal loan from the bank. That's
well,
how I
what
got
I
mine
did for
started.
my
Well, that
girls
works
is
guys,
the
too.
same. What I
guys,
did for my girls is the same thing I did for myself when I was 18, 19. I got a credit card. It was a high interest credit card. I got a credit card and I always bought like $50 worth of something every month. You know, shirts, food, whatever. $50. Paid it off when I got the bill. And I built a credit score by doing that. I did the same thing for both my daughters. I had them get credit cards in their names. I was the co-signer. And I said, look, go to Publix, buy food. Go to Sephora, buy some makeup. Go to Forever 21 or wherever the fuck you go to buy clothes. Buy $100 worth of something every month, pay it off. In 6
yeah,
months,
but
you'll have a credit score and you'll be able, because you're going to need a credit score if you ever want to get a home loan or you need to move into an apartment or you need to, get a loan for something substantial. You need a credit history. The only way you're going to build a credit history is to artificially induce debt and then pay it off. And that's what they
yeah,
did. And both
Yeah,
my
but why
girls
do
are
it, why do it with a high
Germany,
interest credit card when I can do it with a low interest personal loan from the bank?
I
well,
mean, in Germany, it's a little bit different. Let's say I want to buy a house. I'm now retired and I have 2,200 euros a month. So, and let's say the house costs 400,000. They tell me, okay, you need to pay at least 800 a month and you have to pay let's say 200K. So, or we can't do the deal. And that's simple. I can't go to the house owner, bring my credit card, paste it. He don't accept it. If it's
well,
not,
and Slim has a good point about a personal loan. The only problem with that was I wanted them to have a credit card, not only to do this, buy something, pay it off routine, but also a credit card that they could use in an emergency. And also, I wanted them to have a credit card appearing on a Equifax or TransUnion report. There were a couple reasons
yeah,
why I wanted to get a credit
yeah.
card over a personal loan.
I mean,
Slim's right. The
I
personal
also
loan,
got a line of
those are the
credit
same thing.
in my bank once, which is kind of the
yeah,
same thing.
in Germany,
It's like
it's
another
called
account.
deposit credit. And
Hmm.
I have 3,000 euros deposit credit, but the rate for the interest rate for the deposit is 12%, and I don't want to go into this. But I have a normal credit card where I pay my super chats here and then buy things, and I have a bank card, and with the bank card I can pay in every store in Germany. I go. It's normal stuff, and I never got it. Why America has this rating? I mean, either you have the money or you don't have the money. And if you have the money, you can buy it, or you don't have the money, you can't buy it. And in Germany, it's important. If you are a young family and you want to buy a home and both work, it's no problem. They give you the money. The bank always gives you the money. If you work and you have a history of working and doing your shit, you get the money from the bank and you pay it back to the bank.
Yeah, but
it's the same.
You don't need a credit score for that.
But the difference between the German system and the American system is the German system, the money, the banks are backed up 100% by the German government, whereas the American system that doesn't happen. It's a different system, which you're comparing apples to pomegranates. I mean, I'm not saying the German system doesn't work. Obviously, it does work, but that's why you don't need a credit score, quote unquote. In Germany, it's because everyone's credit is backed by the government, whereas in America, we don't do that. It's a different philosophy.
In Germany, my private money on the bank is secured up to 250,000 euros.
Yeah. Well, by the way, everyone who doesn't know, the euro and the dollar are pretty much equalized at this point.
It's the same. So every bank account in Germany is secured by the government up to 250,000. And if a bank goes bankrupt, like Lehman Brothers in the US, they lost everything, and the government didn't give anyone.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you ever heard of the FDIC?
In the United States is FDIC insured.
Yeah, but, and it is insurance, and the accounts are insured up to $250,000.
Yeah, that way, if the bank's robbed or if the bank goes out of business, your money is not affected.
No.
Yeah, the FDIC.
I only can tell you what I heard. When Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, they told us here nobody got their money.
No, that's not true. Well, Lehman Brothers. Wait a minute. Lehman Brothers is not a bank. Lehman Brothers is an investment firm. That's different. Lehman Brothers is a broker like Merrill Lynch or Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs. Lehman Brothers is an investment firm. Investments are not backed. Investments are not necessarily backed by the equivalent of FDIC. Now, if you were talking about Bank of America, let's say I had an account in Bank of America, and Bank of America, for some reason, went Tango uniform, my deposits in a Bank of America savings account or whatever would be insured up to $250,000. But Bank of America is not a brokerage house like Merrill Lynch or Schwab or Goldman Sachs or Lehman Brothers. Lehman
Brothers, that's the stock market. That's gambling.
Yeah. Yeah, Joshua is right. Investments are not even backed by FINRA, which is the investment equivalent of FDIC. Yeah, like Slim said, you're playing the stock market. You're playing the stock market. It's legalized gambling. Your investments are not insured. If the investments go up, great. If the investments go down, sorry, not sorry. You pays your money. You takes your chances.
Yeah.
And that's why I like having something for retirement that's not in the market.
Yeah. Now, I, for example, put some of my in my retirement funds are I've diversified through a lot of different channels, and one channel I diversified with is precious metals. Yep.
Yeah.
Buy land.
Gold,
Yeah,
platinum.
that land never goes down in value.
No, that's something also that will never decrease in value. It'll only ever increase in value.
And don't forget, land is also one of the few asset categories that's finite. They ain't making more land, I mean, unless you're the Chinese and you're filling in and creating artificial islands in the South China Sea, but that's another story.
Hey,
There ain't
Saleen.
no more land being made. All the land that's being made is what's here.
Hey, Saleen.
Yep.
Have you ever watched the Twilight Zone, the old episodes?
The black and white stuff.
Yeah.
Not a long time, no, but
Okay,
I've seen
because
it.
they had an episode where these three men, okay, they had gold, tons of gold, okay,
Yeah,
and they went in the desert and they went into these glass cases that kept them preserved for 100 years, okay. So they come out of it 100 years later. One guy died. They saw skeletons because like a rock hit his glass thing, so he was like all skeleton stuff. But anyway, the other ones got out and they were like, nothing's changed. They were in the middle of the desert, right? Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. So they're walking with their little bit of water they have left and their bars of gold. Okay. And they're walking and they end up dying. I'm not going to tell the whole story. They end up dying, but the one died of thirst, and he was offering this one guy that came up to him on the road that he finally saw, and he said, I'll give you this gold bar if I could have a drink of water, and died. And then the guy picks up the gold and he gets into his flying like car rocket ship thing, and he
yeah.
shows his wife the gold bar, and she goes, what is that? He's like, it's gold. She's like, didn't they used to use that for uh whatever, money or whatever? Didn't it used to be valuable? He's like, yeah, until they found a way to manufacture it. Poor guy. And he threw the gold on the floor like it was a rock and took off in
Oh,
his little flying car.
I mean,
So is gold safe?
well, if that's why they call it the Twilight Zone, because reality
But
sort of
could
takes
they
it.
manufacture it?
No, only King Midas could, and he's long dead.
Yeah.
Gold comes from the sun.
Let me
and
put
from the
it this way,
stars.
TK. Let me put it this way, TK. For millennia, diamonds were considered the most precious of all precious stones, right? But nowadays,
Yeah.
you can buy what they call lab-grown diamonds. They're considered to be "quote unquote" real diamonds. It's not like we're talking about cubic zirconia or any of those other fake, things like that. Lab-grown diamonds are recognized in a way as being diamonds. So
Because
yeah,
they're
they
made of carbon, right? They're
right. They're
literally
made of carbon, but they're
so
grown in a lab.
Well, they're made the exact same way real diamonds are, just in a much shorter time period.
right.
Yes, yes.
So it should count.
Well, yeah, they count as diamonds, but the fact that they exist, and I've purchased them because occasionally I do shop for my daughters, to buy them jewelry for special occasions, it's birthdays and such. They're relatively inexpensive compared to real diamonds, but the price of real diamonds has not taken a header because of the existence of lab-grown diamonds, which, by the way, are beautiful stones. They really are.
I bought my wife some lab-grown diamond jewelry, and it's about a third of the price.
Yeah, nothing wrong with lab-grown diamonds. They're beautiful things. But if you want to buy a real diamond, they're still damn pricey. Now, I say that to say this. Is it possible that somewhere down the line, technology or whatever becomes a thing where you can take base metal and manipulate its atomic structure or its or whatever, and create gold, lab grown gold, if you were, out of say steel or iron ore or the proverbial turned gold from lead or whatever. Is it possible? All things are possible given enough time, investment, and technology. Sure, it could happen. But until that happens, and it's a pretty far-fetched, I mean, we don't have really the ability to manipulate the atomic structure of things to that level yet. So,
well, I don't think we would have to. I mean, look at it in the diamond example. We know how they're made. They figure out how gold is created. You can recreate that process just in a speedier fashion.
right. But right now, that's not something that exists, or if it
Maybe
does exist,
Elon
it's
will
not
figure it out how to do it.
Maybe Elon will, maybe he won't. But what I'm saying is, until such time as that occurs, gold is a great place to park your money. Gold, let me put it this way: gold has never been worthless. Gold has always been worth something. Silver has always been worth something. Platinum has always been worth something.
Well, and silver's shooting through the roof because silver is needed now more than ever because, well, to me, silver's great.
I love silver.
Silver is one of the best conductors. It is used in every electronic device you can imagine.
And it's prettier.
Exactly. And
I think it's prettier.
Precious metals have never been worth zero. Currency has been worth zero. I point to modern day Zimbabwe or the Weimar Republic, Germany, as two excellent examples of currency being worth nothing. But precious metals are a great place to park your investment dollars. And I have parked some of my money that I invest. I have parked some of it in metals. And I think it's a good hedge against inflation. It's a good hedge against insanity. Copper is another good because copper is needed in electrical wiring.
I'll give you a perfect example. A guy in 1993 bought roughly $40,000 worth of silver. Turned around in 2018 or 19 and sold it for almost 130.
130? It's 300%.
Yeah, it was almost $130,000.
Yeah, it's 310%.
So he sat on it for that amount of time and made a damn killing.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if anyone remembers an old comedy show, a sitcom named Barney Miller. But one day they arrested a guy.
Barney Miller.
Well, I remember one episode they arrested a guy who claimed to be from the future, and the black detective, I can't remember his name, but the black detective was always dressed in really nice suits, and he was always playing the market and the commodities and everything. And he was talking to the guy from the future that everyone else in the room knew was crazy, and he was talking about, I'm going to invest some money in gold. What do you think? And the guy from the future shook his head no, and he said, zinc. Oh, and he got on, and the black guy got on the phone with his broker, and he said, how much is zinc now? And I think it was some ridiculously low, like 25 cents a pound or something like this, something ridiculously low. He said, how about buying me a couple of tons? So that kind of reminds me, what TK you just brought up, reminded me of that little skit in the city.
I mean,
well, to that point too, it hasn't also it also hasn't been possible except for like the last 40 or so years, because up until who was it? Was it Nixon that took us off the gold standard?
It was Nixon, yeah.
Up until Nixon, it was illegal for any individual to own over a certain amount of gold because of FDR.
Yeah. FDR passed that law during the Depression, I guess it was. You had to turn in all your gold. If you owned a gold coin collection, you had to turn it in.
If you want to be safe in the metal market, the only thing what is absolute 100% safe is these metals who you need for computers and handies to build, like hafnium, meridium, and tantal, thallium. There are some I don't know the English word.
Silver's another one to do with that because it's such a good conductor.
Tantalum is a good example. You make capacitors out of tantalum.
Yeah,
but
you need it for the technology, and gold will always have a certain amount of wars, but these special metals you need for technology, they are exploding since 20 years.
But who would have predicted, up to about 3 or 4 years ago, platinum was the king of all metals, right? I mean, everyone said gold standard, gold standard.
Right,
well, platinum was more expensive than gold. But if you look at the current commodities markets, gold is even more expensive than platinum now.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea. I mean, platinum is needed in the auto industry. But
platinum just sounds better, though, too. It sounds like extra.
Oh,
well, it is. I mean, I got to tell you, as a watch collector, 18 karat gold cases, gold watches, and 18 karat white gold watches are not cheap. But the same
gold.
The same watch in platinum is going to be hella expensive. I mean, like 3 times the price easily. Plus,
I like pink gold. I like the way it looks. But I like silver. Silver's my favorite.
I have some
and then
rose
pink
gold watches, but I'm not a big fan of rose gold myself.
Or rose gold, yeah.
My dad was a big rose gold fan, but I got rid of most of those watches.
It's so pretty. See, your dad and I would have gotten along, like you said. Remember you said that to me one time?
Oh yeah, you two would have. You two speak the same language.
I know. I should have met him before he died because I was living here. Shame on you, Saleen, for not letting me come see and meet him. Well, he wouldn't have wanted to meet me at that point, probably.
No, he didn't want to meet anybody at that point.
He wouldn't have wanted to meet me even if I said please.
No. He didn't even want. He didn't even want a lot of his friends to see him.
Yeah, but he doesn't know me. That would be different.
That would be worse.
Aww.
He always wanted to make a good impression, no matter who he was in front of.
But see, anyway. But that's when I see. Well, I mean, not that he's a broken person, but at the time he was sick, right? Like I see through nurse eyes, so I would see him as beautiful.
Gold is a scam.
Vandy Dandy.
Oh, Vandy Dandy doing Vandy Dandy things. I mean, I'm talking.
I love Vandy Dandy.
Gold is used by central banks.
I love Vandy Dandy.
It's
Vandy Dandy.
Who did we lose? Lost them.
Sorry about that. What I was saying is the general rule of thumb is whatever Vandy Dandy says, the exact opposite is true.
Yeah. I do love platinum. I have obviously I inherited them, but I do have a lot of not a lot, but I do have a few platinum watches, and they are some of the best looking watches I have. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, you want to know what boggles my mind though? You can go. You find gold in an old ship sunk off the coast of Florida, and it's worth 10 times what platinum's worth in its own weight.
So I should be going to the beach and looking for gold.
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
Good luck.
In the sand?
Good luck.
I doubt you're going to find it in sand, but
Yeah.
Well,
Well, just
you
somewhere
know,
around
we
the
got metal
neighborhood.
detectors.
Because you
What
know
about a
what?
metal detector?
You know what we have around our town, Celine, because we used to be so underwater. Like people find shark's teeth and shit on the ground,
Oh
shells
yeah,
and
there's a beach near me in Venice, Florida. It's called Shark Tooth Beach. I mean, you can
yeah,
just
but I'm
walk
talking
along the
about on the
shoreline and
streets in business, like in a business houses, like in their yard.
well,
TK,
that's nutty, but yeah.
did you know that in the early 1900s they found gold in the Mississippi River in Louisiana?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah, I
know
heard
that.
about that.
Yeah, and there were thousands and thousands of people that cutting there, and after 4 years, the gold was out, and it was over.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get one of those metal detectors and go on the beach and go everywhere and just start like those
I mean,
old
you'll find a
men.
lot of shit that people drop.
I want to find some gold that's worth a
You
lot of
know,
money.
I thought about buying one of those things.
Hey, we
And
could
just
we could do it
Well,
together. It'll be fun,
if you're
Celine.
trying to find like what I'm talking about is most of the time is Spanish ships that have gone down in the Gulf of Mexico and off the coast of Florida, and a lot of them were just loaded down with all the gold they can handle.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
like on that movie Goonies.
yeah, or there was another movie called The Deep. No, what? Yeah, The Deep.
Hey,
With Nick
Celine, I have
Nolte.
an idea for a day date. Okay, we'll go first. We'll have some breakfast, and then we'll go on the beach and go searching for gold and treasures. And then we'll go and watch some retro TV. We'll watch a little Barney Miller and Twilight Zone, and we can have some lunch.
Got to
And
watch some
then,
Bewitched while you eat lunch.
huh? What did he say? What did
You
you
got to
say,
watch
Sleep?
Bewitched while you eat lunch.
Do what while I eat lunch?
You never
Well,
seen that old show
why
Bewitched?
does Randy hate gold so much?
What old show? Hello?
by the way, guys,
I don't know what he
uh,
said.
it is I just looked it up. It is possible to make gold, but you need at least um, a ground material who has
And
more
God.
atoms. Is it atoms in English? Atoms.
Adams, yeah.
It has to be at this metal or this product has to have more atoms as gold. You can't make gold out of copper or out of helium because you don't have enough atoms, protons and neutrons. You need at least 78 neutrons and protons. Otherwise, yeah, like this, Joshua, like this. You can
So
take,
you need
can
an atom smasher to make gold out of
you
Either
non-gold.
that or
if
finding King
it
Midas's
works,
descendants running around Greece.
nobody knows. But it is theoretically possible. You can make
Okay.
out of uranium. Uranium has 100 no 81. I don't know. It has more atoms
Okay.
as gold. So
You're talking about making gold out of in a process that is probably more expensive than the gold itself.
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
So it's not
It makes
economically
no sense.
feasible to do this.
You
No,
have
what's
to
more
cut. You have
economical
to cut
is
the
to
protons
go.
and the neutrons out of the nucleus.
Yes, that's what we're saying, Sven. It's going to cost much more to make it than what it's worth.
Yeah,
What did I
It's
miss?
like nuclear
makes no
fusion.
sense.
So
It's like nuclear
I like
fusion.
my cheaper idea of running around Greece and finding a descendant of King Midas. It seems much easier and cheaper.
Oh, I come with you. Call me up.
Hey man, let's
Nate,
go. Man. That's one place I'm down to go is Greece.
What's
I'm a
up?
history nerd. I love that kind of shit.
Greece is cheap and nice.
Oh, what did you
So
say?
Nate is back. Are we going to talk about Nate's
Wait,
dating
really quick
habits?
before Nate, Celine, I figured out what we could
Okay,
do
I'm
after
back.
lunch, after our lunch settles. We could go to the skate park. Whee!
Hey?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry
I-
that I was gone. I was
That's fine.
helping Nate with something.
Okay, that's cool. TK, I'm not allowed to roller or ice skate anymore. If I take one fall, I could damage my back beyond repair.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Well, we could put one of
sorry.
those big those things on where they cover your pad. We could put like a
Oh,
big diaper on you,
Hey,
like
what
and
about those
padding.
big inflatable balls that you crawl into and you can
yeah.
just roll around all over the place?
Yeah.
This does not sound like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah, it's like
You
one
mean
of those
inflatable
inflatable
balls?
balls that you can go in the pool with, or
Yeah.
and
No,
they let you like
roll around
walk
in the
you can climb
things.
inside.
on the water.
I actually tried one of those at a party. I think it was a birthday party. They had one of those adult size inflatable
Yeah.
plastic balls. You crawl inside of it. They seal it up behind
Plastic
you, and
balls.
you just kind of roll around. And
You're trying to hit people too. Yeah.
I love how his Boston accent comes out. Plastic balls.
Yeah.
Hey,
When you're
now,
skating,
you know,
Celine, I was snowboarding after 20 years for the first time, and I looked like a toddler. I can tell you. 90% of the
there are
time,
certain
I
activities
landed
that I
on my
no
ass.
longer wish to partake in. That
And I
you know,
was
a
a
little
really
bit too
good
much.
skateboarder early in my early days and snowboarder. I was not
Celine,
bad.
what were you gonna say earlier? To me?
Well, that sucks. The largest gold vein ever found is in Hunan, China. That's terrible.
Uh-oh. Hunan. They found some Hunan shrimp in Hunan, China, but yeah.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
Hunan
Well,
sounds
Get
like a good
Celine a
virus.
snowmobile.
I didn't realize Vandy Dandy was
I do
living
that.
in China and
I
not
thought
visiting.
he lived. I thought he lived in Thailand.
when he moved,
He's an international man of mystery.
kind of like trying to fool
Oh my
you.
God, it's almost 5:00.
No, he's not. He's just a commie fuck that went over there with the rest of the commie fuck.
Is he like what's that other guy's name? Volusia.
Volusia,
Volusia.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
They're in
they're like
China
two
too.
peas in a fucking pod.
I don't think
Yeah.
Vandy is as liberal as Volusia.
My
No,
Probably
my
not.
he's much more
Oh,
so because he works for the
Bangkok.
Yeah,
American.
He
Vandy
lives
now
in
lives in
Bangkok.
Thailand.
Bangkok.
Yeah,
One night in
he
Bangkok.
lives in Bangkok.
my daughter-in-law is from Chinese Taipei, and her dad it was British, and then the Chinese got it. And
Yeah, he saw that
when they
said
came there, he
Taiwan.
said, "You can all do with me. You can take all my money. You can take my house, but I don't take communists. I'm out of here."
You know what?
Yeah.
I
And he went.
we
He
can
went to
find
the
Vandy
US.
on Soy Cowboy.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
Taiwan, but yeah.
Yeah, and he went to LA. He was a teacher, and he lives now in LA. And
Yeah,
I hate
Taiwan.
LA. It's the fuckiest town in the world.
Hey, Celine, what were you gonna ask me earlier?
Dollars to Donuts says Vandy Danny's laying up with one of them lady boys from Bangkok right now.
Damn.
I bet he hangs out on Soy Cowboy.
One night in Bangkok makes the
And
heart
maybe he
man
can
humble.
hang out with what's his name, with
Oh fuck! I forgot something.
shit, I forgot his name.
But
Mike Saha. Yeah.
but you know, TK, that song "One Night in Bangkok" is actually about a chess tournament.
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea what it was about. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I thought it
an
was about
international chess
prostitutes
tournament
in
in
Bangkok. I don't know what I thought it was
That's
about.
why they call it Bangkok. Yeah. No,
Mike
actually, he's from
Saha is in Switzerland.
Sweden. No, what I was just saying that those what do they
I
call
don't
them?
know
Those
who Mike Saha is.
white, what are they called? Those
Lady boys.
yeah, lady boys. Remember that y'all accused that some people accused Mike Saha of dating a lady boy.
Lady
I thought Mike Saha was in a Swiss prison.
Yeah,
I mean,
It looks like
every time
he's
he
in
No,
goes
some
he's
out,
in
sort of
it looks like he's in a
institution,
Sweden.
prison
doesn't he?
cell.
No,
yeah,
he's
he
in
does.
He does look
Sweden.
like he's in a. He looks institutionalized. I'll admit
Yes.
he does.
Vandy, I was just you know, I was
No,
just
he
kidding.
lives
Though.
in.
I figured you didn't go to the red light areas anyway. So
No, he
Also,
lives
he
in
also
Sweden. But yeah,
now I would like to go to Switzerland myself. I mean, I would love to go to Switzerland. I want to. I mean, the mecca of the watch world is in Switzerland. I would love to go there. I don't
Yeah.
think they'd let me into Switzerland, but I'd love to go there
right. But Mike
Why
Saha lives
wouldn't they
in
let
Sweden.
you
because I'm an American and I speak my mind.
in? They don't give a shit. All they give a shit about, the only thing they give a damn about in Switzerland is the color of your money.
and chocolate.
Chained.
In chocolate.
And don't forget those little wooden shoes.
I like them. Well, no, wouldn't want to wear them, but no, Switzerland has the best chocolate.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Hershey's Chocolate Factory has the best chocolate, but
I agree.
They
Yeah.
do.
No,
Almost
Willy
Swiss
Wonka
cheese.
has the best chocolate.
Willy Wonka.
And Willy
True.
Wonka. Willy
I
Wonka.
started to think that Willy Wonka factory is a real thing, but
Yeah. Willy Wonka invented nerds. So
yeah, see, I think it is a real
and the
factory.
and the nerds rope. Yeah. Willy Wonka invented.
Why are you talking to yourself?
Who? Who?
Anyway,
Me?
guys and gals, it is 5 o'clock, and you know that means that I must be. Oh, and thank you, Sven, for the €3 super chat. Fair play. 3 for Vic, 3 for the Gator Man.
Yeah, wooden shoes are Dutch. Actually, Joshua just pointed out, but yeah.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost power for a second. Luckily, I have battery backups on my internet, and the power just glitched.
Yeah, wooden shoes are Dutch. But yeah,
Screws up all my clocks.
Okay, guys, I wish you a nice week.
Thank you, Sven. I appreciate you.
And Vic, get ready. 15 questions Friday.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
If you get 11 right, $10. If you get 8 right, $5.
Okay.
Yeah, he has to work for his super chats. Guys, I'm out of here. See you.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, Sven. I appreciate your participation
I
as
had to
always.
say something real quick.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, it's 5 o'clock here.
It's five. Yes, 5 o'clock here.
It's 11:03 p.m.
No, I just don't want to say that.
Well, time for your bed. Time for you to go to bed, Sven.
No. I have to watch a hoops game.
Yes.
I'm
okay.
retired. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
This is well, you're an adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want anyway. Anyway, whatever the fuck I want to do is I got to get off and get ready to go over.
Saleen, greetings to your mom. Yeah.
Thank you.
If you go
Thank
over. Yeah.
Thanks, Celine, for everything, and I'm looking forward to our gold hunting date. Woo!
Okay. Crazy woman. Slim, thanks for stopping by again. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, I'll try. We'll see. I actually need to talk to you about something anyway, so I'll explain it to you later.
Okay.
All
You know how to get a hold of me. I think.
All right.
See you. Vic, thanks for stopping by as always.
Yeah, Vandy Danny says Americans don't understand not having to work. Well, that's not true, Vandy. But yeah.
Yeah, we understand that pretty well.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who don't work, but yeah.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that.
Yes, I don't know what Vandy is talking about.
Except you misspelled Saleen again. Never mind. Well, he fixed it.
Yes, I don't
Anyway.
know what Vandy's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. But.
Yeah, Vandy is Vandy Dandy doing Vandy Dandy things. That's why we love him. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, Vic.
Yep, of course. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
See you. All right. Thank you all. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on the way out if you haven't already. I always appreciate that. Wednesday afternoon live, episode 209 in the books. We'll do it all again next week, episode 210 on February 12th. Assuming good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. And hey, maybe we'll be talking about the Stupid Bowl. You never know. And maybe, pointing and laughing at all the idiocy that the National Felons League seems to love to throw at us. Maybe we'll talk about commercials, which, whatever. Sad when the commercials mean more to some people than the game does. So enjoy the game if that's what you're going to do. I'm going to be doing almost anything else but watching the Swifties beat up on the chickens. But y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Thanks for stopping by and participating. And we'll do it all again next week. Until then, I wish you all a good week, good weekend, and peace.